Good afternoon. My name is Kathryn, and I'm here to teach you how to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. At Airborne School in Georgia, the first thing you will do is take a physical fitness test. Your ability to follow directions and your preparation will be monitored. On day 2, you'll climb to the top of a tower and be told to jump out and wait for the zip line to catch your fall. Those who follow direction will continue on to the next day. For those who refuse to jump, they will be sent home. This is a way to quickly weed out timid soldiers. My fellow classmates, in life, it is always better to go all in, full send, to jump full force 100%. Except maybe not if you're thinking about doing a front flip off the top of a rooftop during Oktoberfest. It takes faith, but the end result is always worth it. Thank you, Dr. Schultz, for teaching me that I will never regret intentionally giving my all, to not hold back, especially when it's Bio 312. As you continue training, you will learn key safety checks and, most importantly, how to avoid injury by landing correctly. The correct landing form is called a parachute landing fall, where you attempt to fall in the cushioned areas of your body to avoid breaking bones. Your feet and knees are together, and upon impact, you rotate your upper body to one side and cover your face. Everything about it feels unnatural and against your instinctive reflexes. This parachute landing fall forces you to rewire your brain and your natural instincts to protect yourself. Sometimes we have to go against exactly what feels natural and easy. That might mean calling out a friend on destructive behavior, choosing to forgive instead of holding resentment, or going to therapy to redirect negative thinking. Thank you, Terra Farmer, for challenging my automatic thought processing when dealing with life's blows. Before you know it, you will put on a tight harness and feel like your spine is going to collapse on itself. The harness has to be wound and snapped in a particular way in particular locations in order for the harness to be effective. It has to keep you safe and secure in the air while simultaneously releasing quickly when you land. It's a buddy team system procedure to get it on because you yourself cannot reach all of the buckles. In a way, you're putting your life in their hands. On a daily basis, I hope you do not have to put your life in someone else's hands. But when you do have to entrust another, do it with confidence. And probably choose your teammates wisely. Thank you, Dr. Ganson, for teaching me more about the importance of study teams that have your back than about circuits and light bulbs. On the first jump, you'll wait for hours for your turn. When your time comes, you will walk up to the C-130 plane while it's running, and your heart will be racing out of your chest. As you wait to fly over the landing zone, the jump master will say, 10 minutes, then 1 minute, then 30 seconds. Time will seem to pass in a second, and you'll feel like you're not ready, and it's coming too fast. But before you know it, you're shuffling to the front and turning to face the open door. Whether you're not ready for an upcoming test, an interview, a deadline, a new phase in life, it's coming fast, like a train. Remember to breathe and keep driving forward. Thank you, Dr. Marissa Barbconnect, for always being that consistent rock when life was going a million miles a minute. When you see the white of the air outside and the green below, do not have the slightest hesitancy. Do not play with the idea that you're jumping to your death. Instead, jump out the way that you were taught. Tuck your chin, count to 6 seconds, and wait for the parachute to open. Trust in the process. As you are afloat, making your way to the ground, you will see the most beautiful sights you've ever seen. More beautiful than any mountain you've climbed, more beautiful than any sunset you've seen, and more beautiful than any ocean you've crossed. When you're closer to the ground, you will keep your eyes on the horizon. Do not look down and anticipate the ground. You will hit the ground with a thud and perform your parachute landing fall. Sometimes, if it's a windy day and you're recovering from your fall, the wind will catch into your parachute that's still connected to you and start dragging you across the field through the rocks and dirt at a high speed. Life is a way of pushing us down when we're already at our lowest. The very thing that saved our lives is now dragging us through the dirt. When life is piling more and more on top of you, reach up to your shoulder for the buckle and detach the bad habits, the bad attitudes, and the negative thinking that's dragging you backwards. Thank you, Dr. Bill Haviland, for being the best model of putting your best foot forward in the midst of life's hits. When you get your parachute under control, you will take a long hike to a distance where your comrades are waiting for you to compare your experiences. You will jump 4 more times after that, and by the 5th jump, you'll just want it to be over with. You'll be quite sick of the restricting harness and bulky gear. But on that 5th jump, ask if you can be the first in line. To stare out the door as you fly over the landing zone, to be the catalyst for the rest of the soldiers to jump behind you to their apparent doom. I can tell you, it's a whole different experience when you're staring out the door and have time to contemplate whether you think your parachute is going to open or not. There are going to be times in life when what you're doing feels monotonous, boring, or put in place just to check a box. When you find yourself in that position, try to experience it in a new way. Talk to a new coworker, volunteer for a project, or ask to take on a position that's above your experience level. Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Eric Archer, for putting value back into the small details of routine work. When I came home from airborne school, I was welcomed back with hugs and excitement. When you go off into a new adventure in life, be sure that the actions you take will allow you to return back to your roots and be welcomed. Life is a smoother ride and, frankly, quite safer when you ride the plane and wait for the predictable landing. But the seduction of comfort and security prevents us from new beginnings. Will you jump out into the deep? Thank you, UWL staff, professors, faculty, students, Eagle Battalion ROTC, and all the influential mentors that I did not mention for the last 4 years of developing average students into exceptional professionals. Thank you to our families and friends who support us unconditionally, and we thank our God for the blessings we encounter each and every day. Above all, my fellow classmates of 2020, be grateful. It teaches us to appreciate the situation we find ourselves in and to not jump out of a perfectly good airplane. Thank you.